Hi everyone, welcome to JaxKorner. Today I'm going to be giving you all my first reactions to reading the first half of the absolutely massive and incredible Dressrosa arc in One Piece. Before I get going, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been commenting on the previous One Piece videos and just letting me know how much One Piece means to you and really making me feel like we just have a really nice community of fans that just love this amazing series. So seriously, thank you so very much, and let's get into Dressrosa. Because this arc is so long, I decided to split it into two videos, so this video is going to cover the beginning up to Law's backstory. Starting off, I have to say that Dressrosa to me has been absolutely incredible in the same way that I loved the pre-time skip arc and how they used to make me feel. I'm talking incredible villain, beautiful world building, really good side characters, and even a backstory to the lore behind the kingdom and its people, and of course, probably my favorite costume the Straw Hat crew has worn since to date. I mean, seriously, look at him. Now I'm going to start touching on my favorite parts of Dressrosa. Luffy joining the Coliseum fights and us being introduced to all these insane fighters at first felt unnecessary, but in typical Oda fashion, of course all these fighters Luffy faces have actual meaning and are even important and help in the later chapters in the climactic battles, which just helped the arc feel so well made and fleshed out. One thing I loved in this arc is that every Straw Hat really had a huge and important role and felt impactful from like all the characters. Like Usopp, Robin, and Frankie helping out the Tentata fairies and learning about him, which was really important. Oh, and I'm sorry, I meant to say God Usopp, which was, I mean, come on, the whole God Usopp thing was absolutely insane. We got Sanji meeting Violet, who we thought was a Doflamingo supporter, but is actually the princess of the kingdom before Doflamingo took over. That was incredible. Luffy, of course, fighting for Ace's Flame Fruit was super fun to watch, especially with the twist that comes at the end of the tourney, which I'll touch on later with quote-unquote somebody very important to him. We had the crazy twist of Doflamingo actually being a celestial dragon and tricking Law during the Caesar deal, which was insane because in my last video I thought it was so cool that he left the Warlords, but it turns out that was all fake. Nami, Chopper, and Brook taking on the art lady on the Sunny was fantastic, especially Brook's moment when he took her out. I loved it. And though I'm probably going to touch this on the second video when I get more about it, having them all leave for Zoe with Sanji while being chased by Big's mom's ship was really interesting to me, and I can't wait to see where that leads. Now I'm going to get into the more of the juicy parts of this arc, and honestly my favorite moments, starting off with some backstory. I did not expect to get emotional over a one-legged toy soldier, but wow, did Kairos and the Rebecca story mess me up. Their relationship was built up perfectly. The whole concept of your own daughter forgetting who you are and realizing after years that the toy watching over her was her own father all along, it crushed me. Now, as to what I was hinting to earlier, one thing that came out of absolutely nowhere was the perfect setup for the return of Luffy's brother Sabo, who we thought died. He wins the tourney, and he has Ace's, which is his brother's, Flame Fruit. Like, seriously, it's so perfect, and it even gives me chills talking about it. One thing I touched on in the last two videos that I made of the Fishman Island Punk Hazard arc is that they had not so great villains. But man, is that not the case here with Doflamingo. He's stylish, he's menacing, evil, and the perfect One Piece villain. I honestly don't even know how they're gonna beat him, but I gotta touch on his backstory. It was tragic, and it was really fun to read at the same time, just because seeing how the man is straight up evil. No doubt about it. Even as a child, this man was awful, and everything about him is just a perfect fit for One Piece in my opinion. Now, I touched on backstories and getting chills from the poetic return of Sabo, but now I'm gonna get into something that made me feel something that I don't often feel in storytelling. And that is the beautiful but so sad past of Trafalgar D. Law. And yeah, real quick, Law being a D was one of my favorite reveals in One Piece, period. Seeing little Traffy as a boy and going through the worst possible things ever as a kid, like losing his whole family, was so hard to read, and especially finding out that the world government is exploiting his country and basically poisoning all of his country's people with the white lead and then him all getting sick. And finding out that he's supposed to die in 3 years was tragic, and this is when he was just a little kid. So his life was already over before it even got started. But then we get introduced to probably my favorite character of the whole Dressrosa arc, and that's Corazon, which is Doflamingo's brother. We are shown that Corazon, while working for Daffy, is actually part of the Navy and reporting to Sengoku, who he was the Navy leader whenever the Paramount War arc was going on. And he's just reporting to him all of Daffy's plans of destruction. The part that I fell in love with him is when Corazon makes it his mission to help Law and cure him of the disease that he has, no matter what happens to his own self, like getting caught by Daffy or getting outed that he's part of the Navy. Corazon finds out about the Op fruit, which is the incredible devil fruit that Law uses now and that we touched on in the Punk Hazard arc, and finding out that it can actually cure himself if he learns to be a doctor, which he was already learning from his dad that we learned in the earlier chapters. But then, of course, what follows is heartbreaking. We watch Corazon, who cares so much for Law, literally give everything he has to get him the fruit for Law, and unfortunately he dies in the process. He does succeed in his mission and he gets the fruit to Law, and what I love about him is that he makes sure that all Law sees is him smiling while he grants Law the freedom that he needed. He even at one point told Law that he loves him, and that's where I broke while reading it, and I'm not kidding. Such an incredible character. I will never forget Corazon, and the amazing setup for possibly my new favorite character in One Piece, Trafalgar D. Law. Now, next video I'm going to cover the rest of the Dressrosa arc and cover the numerous battles that are going on. And trust me, I'm going to touch on God Usopp and his amazing moment, and the other battles that haven't even concluded yet, and there's a lot of them. I only have about 30 or 40 more chapters left to read of Dressrosa, so I should have the finale out early next week. Whoever made it this far, seriously thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me, and I just gotta say, my favorite part of these videos really is the comments after these are uploaded, where everyone just talks about how much they love One Piece or their favorite parts. Or just talks to me and hypes me up for the future stuff that's coming. Like, that's how I knew that Law's backstory was coming up this one. That was because someone commented on it on a previous video and getting me hyped for what's to come. That's what makes all of this so fun. So seriously, thank you all for coming to JaxKorner, everyone. See you all next week for the Dressrosa finale.